So, any reason why Izzy asked us to meet up in the living room?
No idea. Your guess is as good as mine. To be honest, I've got better things to do with my time than waste it on whatever the asshat has in store for us.
Oh really? Like what?
That's none of your business. You bitch.
Call me a bitch one more time. I dare you. I freaking dare you.
Oh, I'm really scared. I'm shaking in my boots. Now sit down and shut up. Or I'll get my hammer and throw it at you.
Don't you threaten me, you worthless bastard.
It's not a threat. It's a promise.
Keegan and Matilda. Shut the bloody hell up. One more word out of the two of you and you will both get a grenade shoved up your asses.
Well geez Louise. You don't have to shout.
Well, I wouldn't have to shout if you two weren't always acting like children.
Yeah, whatever. So why did you gather us here anyway?
Well, the reason why I brought you all here is because Bethany and I were talking and we wanted to do another video with you guys for the channel.
Cool. So are we gonna do another episode of Izzy and Friends again?
I would like to, but I'm saving that for the fall season.
What about the Life of Sonic the Hedgehog episode 10? Are we gonna help Birdo56 complete that?
Yeah, I mean come on, Birdo56's subscribers have been begging him to complete that episode.
I wouldn't worry, we'll have the project worked on and finished during the summer.
Okay, so what video are we doing this time then? Another funny signs video?
Actually, I thought we'd try doing a tier list video.
That sounds pretty sweet. Tier list videos are pretty popular these days.
What is a tier list video?
It's a video where we make a list of things in the same category and rank them from worst to best.
Oh, that sounds interesting. What are we gonna do a tier list on?
Well, I wasn't really sure, but Bethany and I decided that we should do our first tier list on the Donkey Kong games.
Oh, I love Donkey Kong. He must have a lot of games.
Not really, at least not as much as Mario and Zelda, but a DK tier list sounds cool to me.
I suppose it's fine. I'm in. It's not like I have anything better to do anyway.
Great, I'll get the Discord server up and running right now. Everything's all set. Can you guys hear me okay?
I read you loud and clear, my darling.
I can hear you.
Me too.
Me 3.
Excellent. Then let's get underway. First up is the original arcade classic, Donkey Kong.
Not gonna lie, even though this was the first game for both Mario and Donkey Kong, I don't think it aged that well.
I couldn't agree with Kagan. This was a fun arcade game, but it's also a real pain in the ass to beat, especially that 75-meter level.
Don't get me started on that one. That stage was the bane of my existence. God damn it. Was that stage a total and complete ass?
I know, right? It was completely unfair, with all the BS obstacles and that Mario dies if you fall from even the slightest height. It took me forever to beat that nightmare stage.
I don't know, I thought it was too easy, but I do agree this game did not age gracefully, but it's still a classic, no doubt. We can rank it in B tier.
Alright then, we'll put it in B tier. Next on the list is Donkey Kong Jr.
Donkey Kong Jr.? That's so cute. I didn't know Donkey Kong had a son.
Well, of course he had a son. You seriously didn't know that? God, for someone who's a fan of Donkey Kong games, you sure can be pretty stupid.
What the fuck did you just say to me, you piece of shit?
Alright, deep breaths, Matilda, deep breaths. There, all better now.
Phew. Yeah, I'm all better, thanks Samuel, and I'm really sorry you guys.
Don't sweat it, Matilda, it happens.
Shall we get back to the list now?
Great idea. Anyway, for those who haven't played it, it's a completely different game from the original Donkey Kong game. This time Mario is the antagonist, DK Jr. is the hero.
Wait, you mean Mario is the villain?
Yep, and you have to save Donkey Kong by getting the keys to his cage 4 times.
Yes, it's a pretty strategic game, and introduces the climbing mechanics that its future games later borrow. I would say it's even better than the original Donkey Kong game.
No doubt there, but there are better games out there, so at the very least we'll rank it in the high B tier above the OG arcade game. The next game is Donkey Kong 3.
Ah yes, Donkey Kong 3, the black sheep of the original trilogy.
I wasn't really a fan of this game. I really hated how they got rid of Mario and replaced him with a generic piece of shit named Stanley.
Who's Stanley?
He's a bug exterminator.
Yeah, a lousy one at that.
Even so, While DK3 is fun in its own right, it's pretty generic and boring. It also lacks the iconic level design of its predecessors.
Exactly. Not to mention it abandoned the platforming formula that the other two games had. Because of that shit-stain Stanley faded into obscurity.
I agree with everything you guys said. For being the weakest game in the trilogy, I will rank this game lower into C tier. Next game on the docket is the legendary Donkey Kong Country.
Like, hell yeah.
Oh, how I remember this one very fondly. It was the first game I ever played in their series.
Oh yeah, this was one of the greatest games of all time. The levels were great, and the music was excellent. David Wise's work really shone here.
Like, yeah, Aquatic Ambience was a great water level song. This game also introduced Diddy Kong, Cranky Kong, Candy, and Funky Kong, and the animal buddies like Rambi.
Ah yes, it even introduced the once recurring villain King K. Rool and his Kremling minions. This game is what truly put Donkey Kong on the map and solidified his series.
Well, we have to thank Rareware for that. This was a true turning point for Donkey Kong going forward thanks to the game's pseudo 3D graphics.
And like, don't forget about Miyamoto's suggestion of giving DK a tie.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I will say it was a fun 2D platformer that I ever played, and riding on the animals was pretty awesome.
Which is why we shall place it in S tier.
Here's the next game. Donkey Kong for the Game Boy, aka Donkey Kong 94.
Oh yes, the game that released the exact same year as Donkey Kong Country, though admittingly, it's not as bad or as flawed as the original arcade counterpart.
You were correct, Keegan. Not only did it have the 4 original levels, it added 97 more. In fact, after you beat the 4 stages it becomes a different game entirely.
Yeah, that caught me by surprise when I was a kid. In fact, Mario had some pretty cool new moves such as handstanding and bar flips.
Like, not to mention the fact that it was a puzzle game that predates the Mario vs. Donkey Kong series.
It was pretty wild how Nintendo tricked players into believing they were playing the original arcade game in handheld form only to become a puzzle game afterwards.
Yes, it was very clever of them. As a puzzle game enthusiast, the game was a fun challenge.
Maybe for you, but for me it was incredibly hard. I couldn't even make it past the first world.
Ha 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 ha, skill issue much.
Whatever, so where should we rank this?
I would vouch for an A tier. It's a remarkable game and it outclasses the original game on every level.
I suppose so. Well, asshat, you heard her. A tier that shit.
Alright, here's the next one. Donkey Kong Country 2.
Like, hell yeah. Let's fucking go. This was peak platforming at its finest.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Samuel. This game was quite an improvement over the original. The music, the levels, everything. This game is the GOAT.
This game was pure nostalgia to me. I remember when I first played it as a kid when I was 6 years old. It took me till I was 13 to beat it. I loved the hell out of this game.
Me too. I kinda hated how they took Donkey Kong out of the game and made him a damsel in distress, but it was cool to play as Dixie Kong. She was the best character of the game. I also loved the new animal buddies they introduced. The bouncy snake was my favorite one.
The spider was my favorite. All in all, this game is Rare's magnum opus. I say well done from them. This game is a certified S tier.
And here's Donkey Kong Country 3.
Well, I suppose what goes up must come down.
I mean, it's like, not that bad, dude. Sure, David Wise didn't return to work on the music, or that the game axed Donkey Kong again in favor of a new character.
Speaking of which, what the hell were they even thinking? Kiddy Kong was so fucking pointless. He's just a carbon copy of Donkey Kong. Also, what was with the animal buddy roster? They took out Rambi in favor of a stupid elephant that gets scared when it sees a rat and disobeys my control inputs.
I mean, yeah, like, the animal buddy roster was a bit questionable.
And don't get me started on those stupid banana bird challenges, or the fact that you have to collect all of them in order to 100% the game.
I mean, you're not wrong. The game made some odd choices and was more of a chore to complete it, but there are some good factors to this game as well.
Such as?
Well, for one, the overworld map is much more improved as you can explore worlds more freely even after you unlock better vehicles.
Not to mention, you can exit a world and save the game at any time by going into any of Wrinkly Kong's save caves. even the one located in the main world hub.
Of course, the boss battles are also more creatively fun to beat, although they are also more difficult than in DKC2.
Like, and don't forget the Swanky Kong game tent.
Oh yeah, I actually almost forgot about that. I've spent a lot of time in the tent. It was fun to beat Cranky Kong's old crusty ass in the ball throwing challenges.
Like, yeah, that was pretty funny how pissed off he got after we beat his ass. He was so mad that he was chasing the Kongs out of the tent. Ha 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 ha.
Well, with that said, it's not the best of the trilogy, but it does rank up there with them, so we'll put this in the lower part of S tier. Well guys, we're now entering the 3D era with this next one, Diddy Kong Racing.
Like, also known as one of the best kart racers of all time.
Oh yes, this game was a lot of fun, especially when you get to race on land, air and sea. I even liked playing around in the adventure mode.
Oh yes, the game had a pretty robust adventure mode, with great challenges of course. I've enjoyed my time with this game.
Yes, I had good times with the game. I remember when I was 7, my deadbeat father bought this game for me and my siblings. We had a lot of fun.
Well, I hate to be a buzzkill, but I don't think this game was that great.
What? Like, are you freaking kidding me? What's wrong with you?
Nothing, it's just that I don't enjoy it as much as you guys do. I think the adventure mode, while nice, just drags on too long for my liking. I mean, the requirements for entering certain areas are ridiculous, the bosses fucking cheat, and the character roster was dumb. Like, who are half of these characters?
I understand your frustration, however the reason for the way the character roster is was because this game didn't exactly start out as a kart racer entirely.
Yeah, like, the game started out as a sequel to another racing game on the NES called Pro M64. A Miyamoto-san saw it, made a suggestion to include Diddy Kong.
I suppose that makes sense then, but other than that, the rest of my point still stands.
Well, regardless of your opinion, Keegan, this still was one of the best kart racers of the 90s, and in general, it joins the DCK trilogy in S tier.
The next game is Donkey Kong 64.
Like, yeah, this was Donkey Kong's first 3D game. You got to play as 5 of the DK characters, each with their own abilities, which was pretty awesome.
I know, right? Tiny Kong was my favorite to play as in this game. She was no Dixie Kong, but she was pretty cool.
Yeah, when I was a kid I sorta had a crush on her.
What?
It was just a crush, babe. I was a dumb kid back then. It means nothing now. You're still my one and only.
Whatever.
What's the matter, Bethany? Are you getting jealous?
No, I'm not.
Like, it sounds like you are. It's written all over your face. You're turning green. Ha 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 ha.
Shut up. Samuel. One more word out of you and I'll use my go-animate logic powers to turn you into Primordial Ooze.
Alright, let's get back on track here. Anyway, I remember getting this game for my 8th birthday. I was so happy and enjoyed my time with this game.
I enjoyed it as well. The levels were great and the boss battles put up a pretty decent challenge.
Are you kidding? This game was a total pain in the ass. While it's fun to play as all of the Kongs, it was a chore to access them from the goddamn tag barrels. Those things were spread out in every world, and if you wanted to 100% the game it required a lot of backtracking, especially for each Kong you save. It was so tedious to upgrade every Kong when you've gotten so far in the game, plus the game had way too many things to collect. I get it's a collectathon game, but still. They had you collecting things like bananas for boss battles, coins to spend on, gold bananas for new levels, but what was with the blueprints? What the hell were they even for?
I believe those blueprints were for the final level, as it increases the timer the more you collect them, so that way you can have enough time to beat the 5 rooms mini-games.
Oh, don't get me started on those mini-games, they were the absolute worst part of this game. I still hate Beaver Bother with a passion. I even hated the fact that in order to beat this game, you had to play an even worse version of the arcade Donkey Kong game twice just to get a stupid Nintendo 64 coin.
You had to play an old rare game to get the rare coin as well, but in spite of all that, this game was fun, a bit rough around the edges but not bad for DK's first 3D game.
Couldn't have said it better myself, my darling. We'll put it in A tier.
Now we are moving on to the GameCube era, with this next game. Donkey Konga.
Oh, how I absolutely love this game. My favorite song to play through in the game was Whip It.
Yeah, Whip It was a good song to play, but it's even funnier when you play through it using the Whip It sound. Ha 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 ha.
This was the first Donkey Kong game made after Rare was purchased by Microsoft.
Don't remind me, I still haven't forgiven those dipshits for buying Rare and doing nothing meaningful with their franchises, and I'm still livid with Nintendo for not keeping Rare. Still, Donkey Konga was a pretty good rhythm game no doubt, but I've played better. B tier please.
And now for Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Don't tell me none of you have played this.
Nope.
I don't think any of us have played this.
I guess we'll just have to skip this one. Now we move on to the only original GBA game, DK King of Swing.
I remember this game well. You had to use the shoulder buttons to control DK and climb up pegs.
Yeah, the game was pretty fun for me, and it was the most inventive game on the GBA.
Too bad there were a lot of flaws that hold this game back.
What do you mean by that?
She means the game is not that great. I have a few gripes with this game myself, such as the infuriating difficulty. And the game's learning curve is too steep. I mean, you have to be pixel perfect. If you mess up even once you have to start all over from the bottom. Plus the adventure mode is so short, I can beat that shit under an hour.
Not to mention it caused a lot of finger cramps on the actual GBA hardware because of its unique gameplay.
Don't remind me, my fingers still haven't recovered from that shit, my god. And what was with the graphics? Why did they opt for a 2D art style when the 3D art style was great?
I mean, this game was developed by Peon.
Peon? You mean those asswipes that helped butcher Super Smash Bros. Brawl? God damn it. Well, that explains everything. Just D-tier this shit, so we can move on.
And now for Donkey Konga 2.
What else is there to say? It's the exact same game as its predecessor. Sure, they added Dixie Kong to the mix as well as new songs. Just put it in B tier. It's a waste of time.
Now we are moving on to the Wii era, starting with Donkey Kong Barrel Blast.
Oh yes, I had so much fun with this game. I love how you can shake the Wii remote and nunchuck like bongos to make your characters go faster. The animal buddies were also a treat.
Yeah, I even like how they made the Kwongs and Kremlings playable as well as making new Kremling characters, but I absolutely loved how they changed Tiny Kong. They made her taller and older. Dude, she's a real hottie. I wanna tap that ass so much.
Oh Samuel, calm your zesty ass down.
Yeah, dumbass. Birdo56's subscribers don't want to hear any of that. If you want to jack off to older Tiny Kong, there's thousands of pics of her on DeviantArt.
Alright, that's enough. I don't care if you guys are into that. Let's keep our focus on the list please.
Fine. Anyway, while the game is kinda fun, at its core it is nothing more than a mid-as-hell Mario Kart clone. It gets C tier at best. No objections, right?
None whatsoever. High C tier it goes. And now for the DS remake, Diddy Kong Racing DS.
Okay guys, I really have to admit, after playing this game, I take back what I said about the original. The DS version is even worse.
This was a prime example of how not to remake a game.
I agree that I do like some of the new features, like putting your own voice in the game, and having a robust track editor. It really falls short on other things.
The game was fun, but I really hated how they replaced the silver coin challenge with a pop and balloon challenge using the touchscreen. It was a real pain in the ass.
Everything in that game that forced us to use that stupid touchscreen was a pain in the ass. Rubbing the lamp for options was pretty ridiculous, and some of the music in the game sounded pretty ass. I get they had to change the music for the tracks that have the same OST. But why the fuck did they change the music for Jungle Falls with a generic one? There was nothing wrong with the original OST, and for that matter, what the fuck was with the character roster? Why did they get rid of Banjo and Conker for those bitch-ass monkeys?
Well, Banjo and Conker were owned by Rare, and they did king to fuck up Conker by making him more cynical and a bit of a jerk.
I guess that makes sense, but what doesn't make sense is that they made Taj and that bastard Wizpig playable. What the actual fuck were they thinking?
I don't know, but I do agree with everything you guys were saying. At the end of the day, it's still a fun kart racer, but not as fun as the original, so I will place it in B tier. Alright, We're almost done, just 2 more games to go. Here's Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Yes. They did it. They finally make the best Donkey Kong game ever. Is what I would say if they actually made one. My god, this was the most disappointing game I ever played.
Aw, come on dude, can't you just cut this game some slack? It is a true to form game.
True to form my ass. Retro Studios tried to make a carbon copy of the original games, but sucked the fun out of everything that made the DKC trilogy great.
That's kind of hitting below the belt there dude.
No, he's right. While the developers understood the core concept of DKC, it misses the mark on so many levels. While it is nice the game has a breath of freshness to it, everything in this game sucks, the enemies are generic and boring, the music is a repeat of the original DKC soundtrack.
Don't forget about the level design, it was all crap. There were too many minecart levels and they all sucked donkey doo-doo. And don't get me started on those god-awful rocket barrel levels. Seriously, did the devs take lessons in game design from LJN?
Okay, that's a little too far you guys.
No, I agree with everything they said.
Et tu, Matilda?
I'm sorry Samuel, but as a Donkey Kong fan, this game disappoints me as well. They brought back only one animal buddy, and they make Diddy Kong into a power-up for Donkey Kong. You can't even play as him unless you have 2 controllers and kill off player 1.
Not only that, if you hit a spiked floor while riding Rambo you die instantly. It's like this game was really made by those laughing joking numbnuts. And what the hell was up with that poor-ass excuse of a final boss? Seriously, as if we need another Andros wannabe. Why is Nintendo so obsessed with disembodied heads and hands?
I haven't really said my piece with this game, but you guys really ripped it a new one. It was pretty disappointing for me too, but it wasn't bad. But I will put an end to C tier. And now for the final game in the lineup, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Wait, last game. What about Donkey Kong Bonanza? Aren't we gonna rank that too?
None of us own a Switch 2, so it would be pointless.
Anyway, this game is much better than their first attempt. They brought back the legendary David Wise to do the game's soundtrack this time around.
Not to mention they brought back some of the Kongs like Dixie Kong and Funky Kong. They even made them playable as well, including Cranky Kong.
Yeah, but they still made them power-ups for DK, and Funky Kong was made like Nabbit from New Super Mario Bros. U, where he's just easy mode.
Well, at least the Snowmads were better than those generic Tiki enemies, but they still don't even come close to the Kremlings.
I agree, and at least they toned down the number of minecart levels and only made a few rocket barrel levels this time. Plus the dynamic camera makes the game more engaging.
Also the bosses are even better, especially the final boss.
Oh yes, they were much better.
So I guess Retro Studios made the best Donkey Kong game after all, right?
Not even close. Look Samuel, I admit they did a fine job with this game, but their take on Donkey Kong really misses the mark in every way.
Keegan's right, as I mentioned before, while Retro understood the fundamentals of Donkey Kong, they haven't even come close to matching the gold standards of the old DKC trilogy.
Retro Studios are good game devs. They should just stick to first-person shooters. That's what they excel at.
This was an improvement over the last game, but it's a very minor one, so I will rank it to a high B tier. And with that, the list is complete. So what do you guys think of the Donkey Kong franchise as a whole?
First off, I must say that this tier listing was a lot of fun, but as a DK fan I still do love the games. They're pretty great in their own sort of way.
The DK franchise has a lot of potential. It's too bad that Nintendo doesn't always put Donkey Kong in the spotlight, but DK Bonanza so far might have found its calling.
Yeah, let's hope that Nintendo doesn't screw it up. Also, I'm not really a fan of DK's design change, but I will take it over those god-awful Star Fox ones.
I don't really have much of an opinion on the entire franchise. I just play whatever games you're into, my darling.
All thanks, babe. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe and let us know in the comments what your favorite Donkey Kong game is and what you like about it.